one of their key witnesses against the rapper appears to have gone missing.
Y'all, something dark is going on in Diddy's federal case, and Jaguar Wright just lit a match to the entire thing. According to her, the star witness for the prosecution, the person who was supposed to help take Diddy down, has vanished, and she's saying Diddy himself is behind it. That's right. Jaguar claims Diddy had the witness kidnapped to silence her before she could speak. And when you hear the full story, the timeline, the identity theories, and the wild connection to Diddy's former flame, Gina Hung,
I think it's getting a little too late for those who are complicit.
And some were doubting you. Did you ever question, like, am I on the right path?
Oh, I never question that. Still don't. Never will. God leads me to do everything I do.
You'll realize this trial is far more twisted than anyone imagined. Let's break it down. Just days before the trial was set to begin, federal prosecutors dropped a bomb. Their number one witness, an anonymous woman listed only as Victim 3, was suddenly gone. No contact, no warning. Not even her own lawyers could reach her. At first, people assumed she got cold feet, but then Jaguar Wright stepped forward, claiming that this wasn't just some nervous breakdown or last-minute change of heart. This was a takedown. She says Diddy's team found her and made sure she couldn't testify. The timing? Too perfect. The silence? Too suspicious.
A key witness in the Diddy trial has gone missing. This is super concerning because she is crucial for the case against one of the biggest names in music.
Something about this just doesn't add up. So why is this missing woman such a big deal? Because according to court documents, Victim 3 was prepared to expose Diddy's darkest secrets. Her testimony would have included years of alleged coercion, abuse, and trafficking. Prosecutors were counting on her to tell the jury how Diddy allegedly controlled women using fear, money, and manipulation. Without her, their case gets shaky. The entire trial could collapse before it really begins. And Diddy, he walks. That's how important she was.
Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected.
Now here's where things get even messier. Fans and insiders believe that Victim 3 might actually be someone we already know, Gina Hung, Diddy's ex-side piece, long rumored to be caught in the chaos of his private life. Gina has spoken publicly about how toxic things got between them. But right after the feds announced the witness had vanished, Gina suddenly disappeared from social media. No posts, no updates, complete radio silence. And it happened right after reports suggested the witness was going to testify under her real name. Coincidence?
1, 2, 3. I'm not lying. Oh, they beautiful. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. It was really nice meeting you.
Jaguar Wright doesn't think so. Before she vanished, Gina sat down for an interview with Tasha K and revealed things that sounded straight out of a criminal indictment. She claimed Diddy pressured her into 2 abortions, offering her $50,000 to terminate 1 pregnancy. She turned it down. Why? Because she loved him. All she wanted was for him to treat her like a human being. But instead, she says he became controlling, mentally abusive, and cold. For years, she stayed silent. But now, her past is starting to sound a lot like what Victim 3 was supposed to testify about.
Will P. Diddy himself testify? That decision is not made until pretty late in the trial. A lot of the decision making when it comes to who is going to testify for either side isn't about how important or powerful or famous they are. It's whether they're going to help build your case.
And it didn't stop with Diddy. Gina also suggested that Young Miami, Diddy's other high-profile flame, wasn't just in the background. She might have been actively involved in the manipulation. The 2 women had brutal online feuds. Miami accused Gina of clout chasing, while Gina clapped back with claims of mistreatment. One now viral screenshot even shows Miami threatening Gina with a freak-off if she didn't back off. That's right, she said if she wanted Gina to eat her. Well, you get the picture. This wasn't just petty drama. This was control, humiliation, and dominance.
Out there yelling and screaming, monster, 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 monster. And everybody kept saying, she's lying, she's lying, she's lying. Meanwhile, the monster is, where's the baby oil in the butt plug? Let's go!
All playing out in public. Now, let's talk about that word, freak off. If you followed the court filings, you know exactly what that means. Prosecutors say Diddy organized elaborate filmed sex parties with multiple women, male workers, and sometimes both. And they weren't consensual. They were arranged, directed, and recorded, often using money, threats, or career leverage to force participation. Women were flown in from different states and even overseas. And Diddy allegedly made sure they couldn't say no, because saying no meant losing everything.
And we have more breaking news. Opening statements are underway in the Sean Diddy Combs trafficking trial. Prosecutors claim Combs ran a criminal enterprise with his trusted inner circle and committed crime after crime for 20 years.
Sound familiar? The superseding indictment reads like a horror story from 2009 to 2018, and allegedly even beyond. Diddy is accused of enticing, recruiting, and transporting women across state lines for these so-called events. Victims 1, 2, and 3 were all named in the documents. The feds say he used his power to control, abuse, and coerce them into things they never consented to. And even after Cassie exposed him in her Bombshell lawsuit in 2023, Diddy didn't stop. The documents claim he kept going, right up until the moment the feds raided him.
To choose to have a life with no real existence. You have to move like the wind.
Right.
You know, people, they say I'm homeless because they don't know where I live. But the truth is I live in 5 different states simultaneously.
Yeah.
Now the government wants more than just a conviction. They want everything. His businesses, his brand deals, even his assets tied to Bad Boy Records. The indictment says any money Diddy earned through this so-called enterprise could be seized. And let's be real, if the court proves he made his millions from this kind of exploitation, he could lose it all. Not just his money, but his entire identity as a music mogul. Jaguar Wright's final claim hits like a gut punch. She says the timing of Victim 3's disappearance was not random. It happened right after the trial began, right after her identity was confirmed, and right before she was scheduled to take the stand. Jaguar believes Diddy's team made a calculated move to protect him and stop her from speaking. And if Victim 3 really is Gina, then who else knew where she was? Who had access? And how deep does this go? Jaguar does what Jaguar does, drops more proof. This time, a blurred voicemail in which a woman sobs, "Tell my mom I love her. They won't let me leave." Audio analysts on Reddit argue over compression artifacts. Mainstream outlets shrug, yet the public devours it. Within 24 hours, #Justice for Gina trends above NBA playoff scores. TMZ runs a split-screen panel titled Hero or Clout Chaser. YouTube commentary channels crank out hour-long breakdowns of Sprinter van lugnut patterns. The louder the internet shouts, the harder it is for jurors to avoid contamination, another potential landmine for the prosecution. In the end, everything rests on one unanswered question: where is Victim 3?
She was actually going under a pseudonym like 3 other witnesses in the case, but she decided to waive that right and reveal her identity in her testimony. But now she's MIA. The federal prosecutors don't know where she is, her lawyers don't know where she is.
If she reappears, Sean Combs may face the most damning testimony of his life. If she doesn't, the empty chair could swallow the government's case whole. Jaguar Wright might be prophet, provocateur, or opportunist. But in a trial fueled by perception as much as proof, Her voice now shapes the narrative. So what do you believe? Calculated abduction, terrified survivor, or social media smoke and mirrors? Drop your take below, because this story isn't just unfolding in court, it's unfolding in real time, and your comment might be the next twist the world hears. And don't blink, our next upload uncovers the hotel suite footage prosecutors say could shred Diddy's entire defense.